After touring around Europe with his band in the late 70s, Barry's illustrious career started in the early 80s with international chart toppers Brotherhood of Man. Then he became a UK top nightclub DJ whilst writing and producing for many famous hit artists. In the 90s, he turned to country music for inspiration and wrote worldwide hit 5, 6, 7, 8, leading to his formation of pop band Steps, who have now had numerous single and album chart success. After more hits with such diverse acts as Sonia, John Otway and the Cheeky Girls, plus a song in the double Oscar-winning film Little Miss Sunshine, Barry moved to the Sunshine Paradise of Thailand, where he's been presenting on radio and TV, as well as continuing to perform music live. His passion has always been songwriting, and this he successfully continues to do.
You hosted a very special When I'm 64 party.
Yes, a friend of mine, a musician called Bernie, he just opened a new bar in Soi 5 in Prasamnak here in Pattaya. Very nice area. And it was a nice little bar. And I'd gone up there and played on his opening night, and I said, do you know what, this would make a great place for a party. And I'm just coming up to 64, so why don't we put on a When I'm 64 party. And I couldn't believe it. There were so many friends that turned up for it. I'd never had so many friends in my life. So I was totally overawed by it all. And it was a fantastic night. Lots of people came up and sung and performed. Dr. Penguin did a few magic tricks. It was just a wonderful atmosphere. And I have to say, it has to be one of the best parties I've ever been to. And it was mine. And then my friend Morgan, the Womble, he was back at his home in Australia. But he called me and said, hey, Tommy Emmanuel is going to be in Bangkok. Now, Tommy Emmanuel happened to be my favourite guitarist, an absolutely superb player. And I said, oh, well, how can I get tickets? He says, don't worry, I know him. I've worked with him many times. He's a friend of mine. I'll get him to put you on the guest list. Well, I went up with KJ to the concert, and suddenly we were standing in reception area, and our names got called out, and we went backstage and met him. And so I remember saying to him about my #1 hit in Australia, and he said, oh yeah. He says, that's really amazing. He says, I've never had a #1 hit. I said, I know, because you play too much. You play too many chords, and you're too clever. I said, 5, 6, 7, 8 was 3 chords. And he did laugh at that. And lovely guy. What a player. The concert was just incredible.
Then it was KJ's turn to celebrate a special birthday.
Yeah, she was just about to turn 40. So I said, would you like a 40th birthday party, or would you like to go somewhere? And she jumped at going. She said, let's go somewhere that both of us have never been, but we always wanted to. And the place that was always on my bucket list was Japan. So we did. We went to Japan, had a fabulous time in Tokyo. We caught the bullet train down to Kyoto, which is a wonderful city. And when we got to the hotel, they had an offer where you could dress up. We could dress up the ladies in an ukata, which is the Japanese national dress. And also, they could get their hair done in Japanese style. So I said, go on, you got to do it. So KJ did it, and then she looked so good, and we were walking around Kyoto, and I saw some guys walking around in kimonos. So I thought, that's it, let's go buy a kimono. And we spent the whole few days down in Kyoto, dressed as Japanese people, visiting shrines and temples and all kinds of stuff. We went to a sake museum and sampled all the sake, which is the Japanese very alcoholic drink, and got a little bit drunk. But it was a fabulous trip, really was, and we loved Tokyo, Shibuku, I think it was. We had a fabulous time there, and while we were there, we made a video. I recorded a song just before we went. I thought, I don't want to do a normal the usual tourist kind of video. So let's make a music video. So I put a track together with KJ singing "Go Go Tokyo," and we kind of filmed the video wherever we were in Tokyo, and it came out pretty good. I want to go back there.
Tokyo, let's go Tokyo, Tokyo, go Tokyo,
And while you were there, you got great news.
Yes, a little while earlier, I had these 3 Sonia songs, or songs I've recorded with Sonia that had never been released, and her management asked if we could release them and do like a 50-50 deal on it. I said, well, why not? So we got the news while we was in Kyoto that the Sonia record, or the first Sonia record that we'd released through Nova, an old friend of mine, Will Mann, who runs that, suggested by Tilly Rutherford. It had gone to number 2 in the charts, and at that time England were in the World Cup, and 3 Lions on a Shirt was number 1. Anyway, I think it was the semi-final of that World Cup 2018, and England got knocked out. So what happened? That song went out, our song went to number 1. And I always remember KJ, when she saw the chart, she was laughing out loud, and I said, what are you laughing at? She says, "You're above Maroon 5. Big thing for her. And then on our return to Pattaya, the following month, we released another song of that Sonia trilogy, Your Heart or Mine, and that went to number 2. And what was number 1? I can't remember. Oh yes, Mamma Mia, ABBA, because the Mamma Mia film was out, Mamma Mia 2. So ABBA was number 1 and we were number 2. Then I got some really, really sad news, and that was that I kind of expected that Tony Hiller, my ex-manager and my great friend and great mentor, he was on his last legs, but he passed away. Just before he passed away, I was able to film a little tribute to him, which he actually did see, and it was featured some of the songs that we'd written together, and I was able to say thank you to him for everything he taught me, and he was quite moved by it, and he said, "Thanks, son, love you." That was his last words to me. And Roger Greenaway was with him, the famous songwriter Roger Greenaway, and he took the phone away from him and said, all those things that you said to Tony Hiller, I said the same things as well. He's been a big influence on our lives and gave us great starts and stuff, and he said, "I know how you feel." I really owe my life here and my whole career to one man, and that is Tony Hiller. I really do owe the biggest part of my career to him, and he taught me so much. So I thought I'd like to sing a few of the songs that we co-wrote together and had released as the Brotherhood of Man singles or with other people.
When the kissing stops, we'll put out the lights and walk out the door. There will be no more when the kissing stops. 1, 2, 3. With a lightning flash, you're standing there before me. With a lightning flash, a star before my eyes. Cry, cry baby, why do I cry? Why do I spend all these lonely nights waiting for you cry. Cry, baby, I don't know why. Whatever happened today's gone by, 'cause all I do is cry. Everybody sing Chelsea, boys in blue. Chelsea, Chelsea, we love you. Chelsea, our love is true. No one can stop us now. There's a feeling down deep in my heart, and it hurts me 'cause we're apart. So I'm begging you, let us talk it through. Get back together, together again. 'Cause only fools never fall in love. They don't take a chance, don't give a second glance. Only fools never give their heart to anyone, 'cause they're only fools. And if you come back to me, I'm gonna make you stay, and everything will get better, better and better in every way.
So there you go, some songs that I wrote with the great writer, Tony Healer, a great teacher and a great friend and a great guy to be around. Really funny. And we've had some great laughs over the years. I just want to say to Tony, thank you so much for everything that you've given me and what you've taught me over the years. It's been invaluable. Thank you.
Anyway, would you believe it? As a tribute, the third song, the third Sonia song that we released a month later, was a song I'd written with Tony Hiller, and it was originally meant to be the follow-up to Only Fools Never Fall in Love, which we'd had a hit with in '91. And would you believe it? It went to #1. It was a fitting tribute, it really was. I mean, it was a bittersweet triumph as our efforts to follow up Only Fools were kind of vindicated, while Simon Cowell can only hold his head up in shame as he never released it at the time. I'm sure it brought a big smile to his face wherever he may be. Muzzle tov, Bubala.
And then you felt moved to do yet another Christmas song.
Yeah, I'd had this idea laying around of, oh my God, it's Christmas again. So I just thought, you know what, let's put a fun video together with a few friends, and if it makes any money, we'll give it to charity. Or, as a result of this video, people could donate to our charity, which was the one that KJ was managing, Kate's project. And I have to say, it was a big success, and people got involved with it 100%, and we made a great video. The song came out really well. It was just a bit of fun, really, but it actually ended up doing some good, and we made some money. And on my following birthday, we presented some poor families with food and essentials.
And so they max out their credit cards while enjoying the sound of jingle bells. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's Christmas again. Same old Christmas songs. Oh my God, it's Christmas again.
And that Christmas we actually spent in Hua Hin. I did a couple of gigs either side of Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, I sat in a beachside bar with KJ, just relaxing and drinking cocktails under the lovely sunshine, and we kind of like chatted about my life and what I was doing, and we agreed it was time for me to slow down, just slow down a bit and smell the roses, maybe do a bit more lunching and hanging out at the beach, maybe even make more progress with my film project, but it wasn't going to happen.
2019 is now here, and you rewarded yourself with a dream acquisition.
Yes, I always wanted a jukebox, and I had actually mentioned it to my friend Richard Borthwick, who had a business importing stuff. And one day he phoned me up and said, I've got something I think you might like. And he'd actually got a few jukeboxes at his warehouse, and one of them he'd fitted it out. He had it all reconditioned and fitted out with some of my old record covers. So I couldn't refuse. I said, I've got to have it. It's fantastic. So there it is in my house, a treasured possession. A 1968 Rockola.
The famous Tony Prince then contacted you and invited you to join his new radio station, United DJs, the Station of the Stars.
Yes, I knew that Tilly Rutherford was doing a show on it, a doo-wop rock and roll show, and I think he might have mentioned to Tony Prince that I would be a good addition to his roster of DJs, and they were really a bunch of stars. There was Emperor Roscoe, Mike Reed, David Jensen, who used to be known as Kid Jensen, and there was all these famous old Radio Caroline DJs on it. So when eventually I had an official invitation, I couldn't turn it down, and so I did the show from Thailand and made it about Thailand, about Pattaya, played a lot of fun stuff as I would on 96 FM. And the show was a big success, and suddenly I'm a worldwide presenter. And that thing lasted for about 2 years, but it was a good experience.
Then along comes Fab Baz Pop.
Well, I've been recording a bunch of songs in my studio, and I just felt that maybe I should put them all together as an album and then put them out through Nova Distribution. I've made videos for a few of them, and I promoted some of the songs on United DJs. In fact, there was a period of time where I was putting on 2 songs every week, 1 in each hour, and I came up with the name Fab Baz Pop because it's fabulous. It kind of conjures up the 60s. Baz is a short version of my name, Barry, and Pop because that's what it was. It was just pop, so Fab Baz Pop. And when I wanted to put the 30-song collection out, Will Mann at Nova, he said that you should put this out as 2 CDs, or 2 collections. So part 1 and part 2, put 15 songs on each. So that's what happened. Fab Baz Pop 1 and Fab Baz Pop 2. And one of the songs I put on that collection was a kind of little bit of an angry protest song at people who were extremists, like they were far left or far right. And in Thailand, they're always looking for the middle ground. That's what I was always being told by KJ. That you have to look for the middle ground. And so I thought I'd write a song called Middle Ground. And David Lee was over at my studio one day, David Lee from Taiwan. And he listened to it and he says, "Oh, my daughter's just become far left. She needs to hear this." So he took the song with him back to Taiwan, and then he asked me if he could translate the lyrics into Chinese. I said, "Why not?" So he goes and translates the lyrics into Chinese, puts it on his Facebook page, and of course he's got thousands of followers, including one of the main news anchors, a female news anchor in China, and she shared it all. So suddenly I had a lot of fans in China. Who could have thunk that?
Seems like everybody is an expert. Everyone got opinion. What the hell is going on in the never-changing news? United we stand, divided we fall. Hey, why can't we find a little middle ground? 'Cause what we need is some middle ground.
So your attempt to slow down never actually got off the ground.
Now I had 2 radio stations, a TV channel, a new album. I was doing live shows. I remember that December, I think I did 25 shows out of the 31 days of December. I did 25 shows, and that was really the most I'd ever done in 1 month, probably since Copenhagen in 1975. And I was 21 then. I was super fit. Of course, age catches up on you a little bit, and my friend Kevin, he went and had a stroke, a big stroke, and had to go to a nursing home. Also, my friend Rich B, who got me the jukebox, some of his organs were failing, so I've got these people who were aging around me, and it was time for me to put my health at the top of my agenda.
So it's now 2020 and COVID is on the horizon.
Yes, we'd heard inklings about something that was going on and some kind of virus that was around, but you never thought it was going to become such a world problem the way it did. But anyway, I was starting to think that I wanted to take a break from doing live shows, and we worked out that March I'll do January and February, which is high season here in Pattaya. I was doing a lot of shows at Hooters, doing my classroom regular weekly gig, all kinds of gigs around them, and we just felt it was time to smell the roses. So I discussed with KJ that if I carry on doing gigs until the end of February, and then we can go and maybe travel around Thailand and just take some time out, maybe for a couple of months. Anyway, that period got extended with a couple more shows at Hooters in Pattaya and Classroom. So I kind of told everybody that March the 15th was going to be my last show, which was at Hooters, and I felt it was time to smell the roses, and it's time to spend a little bit more time at home in my pool villa here, and to concentrate on neglected projects such as my book, my movie, screenplay, my state pension application, which I'd neglected, health checks, build my fitness up through more regular tennis, maybe a bit of meditation, and certainly relaxation and a few various home improvements. Plus, I was planning to record another new album, this one with a kind of Johnny Kidd and the Pirates, early 60s band vibe. So songs needed to be written, but all in good time. And then, would you believe it, on the 18th of March, 3 days after I'd done my last gig, Pattaya was shut down by the COVID-19 virus scare. So my plan not only came to fruition, but was kind of somewhat enforced. It's quite good timing, really.
But then disaster struck with a huge medical problem.
Yeah, well, we had these COVID restrictions, which myself and KJ, we were quite happy to stay at home, and I was doing my recording in my studio. KJ was still going for her early morning runs. I would sometimes join her and go for a walk around Lake Maprachan, which is close by here. We would go for coffees, and not having any gigs was actually just not a problem. And the great thing around Pattaya was that you could drive around anywhere. There were no Chinese tourists all of a sudden. And then restrictions got relaxed somewhat. My tennis resumed, and I was playing this guy 4 times a week, playing at 100 miles an hour, just whacking the ball backwards and forwards to each other. Great fun, we were really enjoying it. But then one day I felt a few chest pains, and at the end of the game I just felt a bit dizzy, and I got changed and I had no energy, and I thought, what's going on? And then on my way home, on my drive home, I could feel a little pain coming up my arm, and I'd always remembered a story that Eric Morecambe told about a pain going up his arm. I thought, could this be the heart attack that I've been thinking would happen to me at some point or other, because of my father and my uncle, his brother, had heart problems. So I thought one day maybe this might occur. I thought, I think this may be it. So I managed to finish the drive home. I parked the car. I went in, said to KJ, we need to get a taxi and get to the hospital as soon as possible. And would you believe it? I was having a heart attack. So I got to the hospital and they kind of stabilized me, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be it or not, but they moved me up to another hospital, Payatai Sriracha, which is about half an hour's drive away. We had an ambulance, all guns blazing, and I was in the back of it thinking, this could be it. We got into the operating theatre, and they didn't need to operate, they found. And the heart doctor there, just amazing, kind of sussed out what was wrong with me almost immediately. He says, I can't see your third artery. Anyway, they put me in ICU, which led to the next day CCU, and the third day into a private ward, and they kind of stabilized me, got me okay. And I have to say that the messages I got and the love and caring I got from the Pati community, it was almost overwhelming, and it most certainly let me know how much I was valued. And while all this was going on, I'm lying there in the operating theatre and then in ICU, and you can't sleep because there's all these noises going off, bells and ding dongs and whatever. So I kind of started writing a song in my head, which turned out to be Boom, Just Like That. It just came suddenly, that boom, just like that, in the wink of an eye, your life changes. It's like a new life. And I think by at the end of that 3 days that I was in the hospital, I'd kind of written the whole thing in my head. So I think that's what got me through it, really, because there's nothing worse than just lying there. Luckily, KJ was by my side the whole time, and she was fabulous. She really did look after me. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, I had an MRI scan, and I'd never wish that on anybody. It was 90 minutes of pure hell, lying in that cylinder and having to hold your breath and for certain periods of time. Horrible experience, probably one of the worst experiences of my life. But at the end of it, the doctor had a 3D scan of my organs and my heart, and it confirmed what he'd thought, that there was a problem with my third artery, and it certainly was a problem. It was misplaced. I said to him, so how did that happen? He said, no, you've had it since birth. It's a birth defect, and you've been living your whole life on 2 arteries, but you're playing tennis at 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden your body says, sorry, I can't do this anymore. So anyway, I came home, took it easy for a while, but then got in the studio, recorded that song, Boom, Just Like That, and also started recording some other songs, which there were songs like, for instance, Cry Baby Cry, which was a song I wrote with Brotherhood of Man all those years ago, and I just suddenly thought, you know what, I'd love to reinvent that song and maybe have me doing a lead vocal on it. So I got a collection of songs together, including Cry Baby Cry. I did a video for that song with a grand piano, with a new friend I'd made, a FedEx pilot who had a grand piano, who lived not very far away. And I thought, I've got a nice collection of songs now, I can put out Fab Baz Pop 3. And Cry Baby Cry was really popular, and it got into the United DJs Top 30, and it was climbing up steadily. Eventually, I think it ended up number 6 was the highest it got to, but I kept overtaking artists like Stevie Wonder, Bruce Springsteen, Shirley Bassey, I remember the Doobie Brothers and Peter Frampton. That was a good one. Yeah, and so it peaked at number 6, and it was just time to celebrate an amazing end to a really strange year. And although it's one that I had enjoyed for the best part, and I couldn't believe I was still having hits at the age of 66. That was my new motto. So I kind of knew now how to relax more and how to see out my final years.
Cry, baby, why do I cry? Why do I spend all these lonely nights waiting for you? Cry, baby, I don't know why. Whatever happened to days gone by? 'Cause all I do is cry. Baby, cry. Baby,
So having a heart attack had some benefits then.
Well, I guess the heart attack experience had made me realise how to value each and every day, despite being on a daily cocktail of medication, and knowing that life now has to be approached in a slightly different way now. But hey ho, while the rest of the world had gone completely gaga, I'd kind of considered myself very fortunate to have the life I have, and to have formally lived through the best time for popular music ever.
Wow, what a year, what a scare. How did 2021 fare?
Well, more gigs were coming my way. I was more confident about doing gigs now, and felt like I had more energy. And so I embarked on this group of gigs that I had, and I called it the No Gimmicks Tour, because there were certain people around Pattaya that were thriving on gimmicks, and I thought, no, I'm gonna buck the trend and do a no gimmicks tour. Actually, the only gimmick I really had on that tour was I took out my trusty Rickenbacker 12-string electric guitar, they're iconic, and had a bit of fun doing songs which suited that sound. Then I started getting the 60s style project together with Martin Carlisle. We spoke about it a few times, about doing a multi-camera shoot, and trying to recreate the Ready Steady Go TV program which I'd watched when I was a kid. So I got into writing and recording songs. I found these songs very easy to write, and after about 3.5 months, I had enough songs and I recorded them, and I was ready to shoot. There was another song which I'd recorded while doing the 60s stuff, but it didn't really kind of fit into that kind of genre, and I called it the Oscar song. It was called And the Oscar Goes To. Now, how this started was I knew that the Oscars were going to be delayed because of COVID that year, and so I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could write a song called And the Oscar Goes To, and then of course the artist would be Barry Upton, and so in a chart it would say And the Oscar Goes To Barry Upton. So I did it, it worked, and it did get in a chart as well. unfortunately, Tony Prince was having a few problems with United DJs, and it turned out that his health and his wife's health were a bit of a problem. So unfortunately, he had to end United DJs online radio, which was such a shame because it was such a happy family of DJs from around the world, and it was such a great thing to be part of.
Then you finally got around to filming your Dream Ready Steady Go program.
Yes, I called the whole project The Hormones of Happiness, and the reason for that was that a doctor had been on my morning show once, and he was extolling the virtues of chocolate. And I said to him, well, I mean, how can chocolate be healthy? And he said, because it contains the hormones of happiness. And I just remember thinking, that's a great phrase. One day I'm either going to call a band that or call an album that or something. And so this was my opportunity. So the album was called The Hormones of Happiness. I kind of put a band together with some female dancers. I had a few hiccups on the day of shooting, but we made this program, and it took a lot of editing, but eventually it came out really good. And I had a commercial pop album. I got a lot of radio play out of some of the songs, and I finally had my attempt at recreating Ready Steady Go.
My name is Megan, and we are ready to go, go, go with Barry Upton and his Hormones of Happiness.
Ready, steady, go, go. Ready, steady, go, go. Go! Happiness is an inside job. Gotta learn to love ourselves. There ain't nothing that anyone else can do, 'cause happiness is an inside job.
Yes, happiness really is an inside job.
Oh, I can't stop thinking about the girl before you.
So, another dream fulfilled. What was next?
Well, as I watched my girlfriend KJ tending to her garden plants first thing in the morning in a see-through skimpy garment, whilst I sipped freshly brewed coffee, I just reminded myself how wonderful it is to be living in paradise. Life is absolutely fabulous here. So I thought maybe I should kind of reflect that in my next project. And one day I was swimming in the pool, listening to a bossa nova album, and it occurred to me that nearly all bossa nova albums are always covers or copies of other songs. Maybe I should write some new ones. So I came up with this concept of myself sitting and playing bossa nova songs in a tropical beach cafe, watching girls in bikinis walking past on the sand. How good is that? So I kind of wrote the songs with that theme in mind and that kind of visual content in mind.
Then the start of 2022 saw you and KJ travelling to the paradise island of Koh Lipe.
Yes, well, obviously I wanted to film the videos to these songs that I was writing, these bossa nova songs, and I wanted to film them in a paradise environment. And so I was looking around at where I could have this tropical beach cafe. And then one day I was watching YouTube and a travel log, and I saw the ideal place. And so I kind of like rewound it a bit and tried to have a look and see exactly where it was. And it turned out to be this island called Koh Lipe, and there was this place called the Zodiac Resort on it. So I went bombing into KJ, said, we're going to go to Koh Lipe. And then I worked out how to get there, and it's not easy. But we did it. We flew to Hat Yai in southern Thailand. So then we got the minibus down to the port, and then it was an hour and a half on a speedboat out to the paradise island of Koh Lipe, and it really was paradise. I mean, that island is kind of like the Seychelles, Mauritius, all put into one. And the great thing was we didn't have to leave Thailand. So we filmed all my parts there. I filmed KJ walking around looking very sexy in a bikini and sun-soaked. And the Zodiac Resort was absolutely fantastic. It was just a kind of hippie type place, which was ideal for me to film me playing the songs in. So on our return to Pattaya, I managed to procure some models, some that I knew, some that I hadn't met before, Thai and Russian, and filmed them looking absolutely gorgeous in a tropical setting, and married it all up together, and then the album was completed. Once again, I had singles released, and my stature on the radio was really escalating. But that was a fun project from beginning to end, with all the elements that could possibly make me happy whilst working on a project. I thought, this is most definitely the way forward.
Then you launched your own music channel on YouTube, Fab Baz Music TV.
Yes, Fab Baz Music TV. I was uploading my songs to the Barry Upton channel, but the problem was that there was lots of other stuff on there as well, which didn't relate to music. So I thought maybe I should have a dedicated music channel of my own. So I started up Fab Baz Music TV, put as many videos of mine on there as possible, and there they were, all in one place.
And you celebrated the 25th anniversary of your biggest hit.
Yes, it was. It was the 25th anniversary of 5678, and I knew that Steps, the band, were going to be bringing out it was called the Platinum Collection, which had got like a greatest hits compilation to celebrate the 25th anniversary. But I thought maybe I could do something. I thought, no, I know what I'll do. I'll do a different style of 5678. And at that time I was seeing and hearing a lot of Latin American music, and I had this friend who lived in Cuba, and so I put together this thing called 5678 Tropical, and I called on him and I said to him, is there any chance you could film some Cuban dancers? And he sure did. He went and got 4 really good dancers and took them out and got them dancing to 5678, the new version that I put together, which had a kind of tropical style. So I called it 5678 Tropical. And then I filmed some dancers here in Pattaya and put the whole video together, and that was it. That was like a celebration of 25 years of that very song. And then my friend Axel, he's a German guy, entrepreneur, who a very successful entrepreneur, who had been the promoter for AC/DC in Germany, and he just promoted a gig with Bryan Adams in Mallorca. So he asked me to put together a version of Summer of '69 as a thank you to Bryan Adams. So I came up with maybe doing it like reggae style. Let's do it. Let's keep that tropical feel. We're in a tropical climate. We've got palm trees everywhere, and so I got a few of my friends, sexy girls, to come out, and we made a video, and he sent it to Bryan Adams.
Those were the best days of my life.
Oh, the summer, the summer of '69.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the summer, the summer
Back in the
of
summer of '69.
the summer of '69.
yeah.
Oh, the summer of '69.
Etched in confessions of a Pop Tart.